What's cracking, YouTube? It's me, the FishyBizzAquatics, professional aquatics with the amateur touch. So amateurs, yep, get that professional look. So you want an African Cichlid tank?
Hey Biz, I want an African Cichlid tank. I'm about to go get some African Cichlids.
Hold on, slow down a beat. All right, this video will tell you everything you need to start up an African Cichlid tank, ranging from tank size to species of African cichlids to keep to filtration. So the A through Z of what you need before starting off your African Cichlid tank. Let's go. All right, now check this out. Before we start talking about the African Cichlid tanks, I have to say, listen, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share this out, just in case you see something, hear something you haven't heard before, saw something you haven't seen before, and just all right, like anything that I've said or shown you. All right, now, African Cichlid tanks, beautiful, okay? They consist of some of the prettiest, most colorfulest fish that you've ever seen. All right, but getting that union and that harmony, sometimes tanks fish keepers forever to get that unity that you can see in some of these glamorous tanks. I mean, trying to figure out the best union for housing African Cichlid tanks, it sometimes is a lot, and not everybody has the secret. But I'm gonna just give you a couple of basics that you can do so you can at least try to get your cohesive tank together. All right, first things first, tank size. When it comes to tank size, let's just say what it is. Size in this case does matter.
I thought you were going to play with my frog.
Your frog ain't jumping in my direction.
And look at some of these specs. I mean, these tanks without water, with 60 gallon, 111 pounds, with water, 710 pounds, that'll definitely take your tank from the first floor to the basement if it's not supported correctly. So you want to have availability of space. You want to make sure that your budget's right. That way you can get whatever you want and feel comfortable in getting it. Of course, your fish would want the more the better. Space, that is.
And here's the thing, it'll give us so much extra space in our room to do activities. Please say yes.
That's why I say 55 gallons and above, because you're looking anywhere between 4 inches of fish all the way to possibly 11 inches of fish. And you definitely want enough space for them to be comfortable, be able to grow, be able to be happy and healthy. Next up, temperature. You're gonna want to make sure that you got the right temperature in your tank. You gotta think, these fish come from Lake Malawi. They're African cichlids. So their tank water is gonna need to be more significantly warmer than some fish. I'm thinking somewhere in between 78 and 85 degrees. I keep mine at a nice 82 degrees. But tropical fish, tropical waters, tropical heat. So you're going to need to drive that temperature up. Tropical fish, tropical water, tropical tank, tropical temperature. Just throw a heater in that bad boy and slide it to 82 and good to go. Next up, types of African cichlids. My favorite part. When it comes to researching African cichlid fish, man, you've got to
Reading is fundamental.
which is exactly right. A lot of reading, a lot of research. You definitely want to make sure that you pick the correct fish. You don't want to get mixed.
That quality.
So let's go to my first group, the peacock cichlids. Your peacock cichlids are going to be more of your peaceful to mildly aggressive cichlids. They're going to get you about 4 to 6 inches as far as length and bulk. Definitely some beautiful colors. Definitely some awesome fish that go well with each other.
Is there a D nice? If one of y'all says some silly ass name,
which brings us to the haplochromis, or the haplochromi, or the haplos, or just call them the haps. They also are, some species of them are peaceful, mildly aggressive. They can get semi-aggressive. They get pretty big. They can get long. These are ones that get up to about 11 inches for some of them. But definitely can go well with your peacocks. So definitely, again, do the research on those. So now we have peacocks and haplochromi.
Aaron, where are you? Where is Aaron right now?
Don't know about Aaron, but brings us to our last category of African cichlid fish, which are your mbunas. Mbuna, mbuna, buna.
I said it like 4 times, so why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron? Because it's pronounced Aaron.
So yeah, don't get mixed up in the name. Just know that if you go with the mbuna species, they are a little bit of the smaller side, 4 to 6 inches, 4 or 5 inches, but they are more of the aggressive African cichlids that you will encounter.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Also, knowing this information and doing your research can let you know how to aquascape your tank. If you know that peacocks and haps prefer open water, then you're not going to have quite a bit of decor in there to get in their way. Whereas in mbuna, you're going to have a lot of rock work because they are more rock dwellers and prefer to go in and out of caverns and caves and spots. So definitely reading is and researching is going to be top priority for the fish that you want to keep and setting up your tank. Next up, dirty fish. You gotta know that African cichlids are dirty. Cichlids are dirty, probably second to goldfish. They're dirty like Pigpen from Charlie Brown. Chasing, mating, eating, pooping, moving, stirring up substrate. They will wreck your tank if you're not prepared to do your tank maintenance, if you're not prepared to do your water changes, if you're not prepared to overfiltrate. And if you want to know how to overfiltrate, if you look up in the top right hand corner, I will put a card there that will link you to my video on overfiltration and how beneficial it is to keeping your tank together. Next up, overstocking your tank. Now, when it comes to overstocking your tank, my only reason for overstocking an African cichlid tank is because your African cichlids are going to find a tank boss, which is the hierarchy of fish. There's going to be one fish that is going to be the man, and everybody else is going to be an underling, and they are going to battle for that position. Now, when you overstock the tank, it does not give any single fish a chance to be territorial, because these fish can get territorial, which could lead to hurts, bites, and even death on the other fish. But this hierarchy will be established, so you need to make sure you have plenty of room. Now, there is a such thing as good tank bosses and bad tank bosses.
Let's just say I'm the boss.
So with your good tank bosses, they actually will help take care of the tank, make sure that there's no fighting unnecessarily. He's the only one and everybody recognizes him as that. A bad tank boss, well, when it comes to African cichlids, could get downright deadly. So they can definitely get vicious, hurt each other, kill each other. And that is why I believe in overstocking for African cichlid tanks. It definitely disperses that aggression around the tank. That way, not one fish gets comfortable. There's enough fish in every space so that it could definitely help cut down on that. Another thing that will help cut down on the aggression is that if you have an all-male tank, of course, the reason for most of the aggression is that males are fighting over the mating rights for a female. And so that could lead to quite a bit of aggression and quite a bit of fighting.
What are you
So an all-male tank will help curb aggression without the females. An overstocked tank will help also disperse the aggression. And the other added thing is males are the most colorful of the species. So if you want beautiful, colorful tank with less aggression in it, you can definitely do those things. You'll have an outstanding display tank filled with brilliant colors and less aggression. Unless, of course, you're trying to breed. There it is. A couple of tips to help you on your way to getting your new African cichlid fish tank. If you found any of this helpful, consider subscribing and leave me a comment below. And as always, it's FishyBizzAquatics, professional aquatics with the amateur touch. So amateurs, yep, get that professional look and get at me.